Stand-up comedy in Nigeria is now well-grounded, so much that an only comedy show can pull thousands of people. One man who has been hailed as the king and forebearer of stand-up comedy in Nigeria is none other than the legendary Alibaba. Entertainment News on Channels TV had a brief chat with him. Have a look.
Comedian Alibaba stands right at the top of comedy business in Nigeria. His works speak for itself as they draw numerous recognition from different quarters.
African recognizes a great comedian upfront.
I am proud of what the industry has become, if we can call it an industry now, because we're still in the very elementary stages of development. So many people have seen the hues and cries and wow of events, and they conclude we have arrived. But for somebody who has seen how the platforms and levels that comedy has been taken to in foreign countries, you know that we are not there yet. You still don't have a sprinkling of comedy clubs all around the country. Overseas, you can walk into a comedy club in the afternoon. You can walk into a comedy club in the night. You can walk into a comedy, just like it's a steady platform for people to come there and perform. But I believe that we will get there.
Somebody talked the other time, say, you look for address. You can't ask Yoruba person. I don't ask one Yoruba man for address before that. The man take my eyes, see Pepe.
A graduate of religious studies and philosophy, the comedian, whose real name is Atunyota Hallelujah Akporobomerere, has been paying his bills with being a stand-up comedian, and he appears to be doing very well for himself.
You don't know the kind of wahala that you people are into now. Look at Ebenezer Obey. He can do that dance. 5 years, that shoe, his bottom will be brand new. P-square, one leg of shoe, they have to change the sole.
It was really hard initially to convince people to pay us as comedians. Say less to pay you as a stand-up comedian. Because then you had groups of comedians performing. So you had like 4 or 5 people like the Awada Kerikeri or Gabelo and the rest of them. Papilu, and they have about like 4 people that will come on stage and act out a play, and they get paid maybe 10, 15K, 15,000 naira. Then you come as a stand-up comedian and you say you alone wants to take that 15,000. It was crazy, really. Like, what is it that you want to even say, you know? But gradually, as we began to profess and practice and dispense our service, people now warmed up to us. It was not easy, but right now we thank God for the effort.
Outside comedy, Alibaba also has a soft spot for graphic art, and he does it for leisure.
I have a picture that I bought from France, and it's of a clown that has a sad face, and that's it on the wall there. It's an irony of situations that people who laugh can be depressed. People who make people laugh can be bored. And it depends on the people around them to get them to liven up as well, because they too need laughter. All right. So if this is the situation that I'm in, then you know you have to bring an A game. So today that I'm wearing this, anybody that knows that this is my situation, if the person is not going to do anything to make me happier, they should avoid me.
The industry that has rewarded him with so much has also taken some things he cherishes greatly.
Oh yes, privacy. Privacy and the not being taken seriously. It's taking away privacy and not being taken seriously. Sometimes you tell somebody something and they go, ah, he's a comedian. Or sometimes you talk about something really serious and somebody goes, don't mind him, he's a comedian.
The bros are twos. Yeah, one gas on this side. You know that air commodore, that man will get queens. And for worrying, if we call anybody air commodore, I wish.
Stand-up comedy thrives wonderfully on spontaneity, and to fully exploit that, you need to touch topical issues that sometimes may be sensitive.
Then the guy Bluetooth pale. All the right side now, no network coverage.
Well, the thing is, as a stand-up comedian, you're also guided by reason. There is a reason for you to do everything. But then, when the reason runs contrary to sensitivity, sensitivity wins. In the sense that if what you want to say would offend sensibilities, then you restrain from it, because there's a very thin line between being funny and being offensive. If what you're going to say will offend 80% of the people, then you refrain from doing it or saying it. But if what you're going to say will offend only 20%, then you need to know why are those 20% offended. If why they're offended does not outweigh why the 80% like the joke, you can call the bluff of the 20%. But that is not to say that you continue to tread that path of offending everybody. You draw the line. And with time, as a professional, as you go along, you learn how to walk that road of being funny without being offensive.
Get to that point. Hausa man is crossing, and the car wants to hit him. You know his reaction. He's crossing, and the car is coming.
When you tell a joke, as people are laughing, you stick the truth in. I remember the joke that I did about an Okada that was missing, a bike that was missing, and the man went to the police station to report, and the policeman said, "I should get out." And the guy said, but they stole the bike. I said, "You stole your bike. A whole ship was missing in this country. We have not seen it. You are looking for a bike." Now, it's funny in the first place, but when you look at it, it means that the man himself is saying, if a ship can be missing and can't be found, why would we be looking for an Okada?
A Yoruba man is crossing the road. Ikorodu Road, Western Avenue. And the car is coming. Instead of him to run to safety, you hear, "Yeah, you will pay on that
road." You have bad times on stage, but with time and experience, nobody knows. What happens is that you have your jokers, you have your comeback jokes, you have your mid-rib jokes, and then you have your long stretch jokes that covers up for any time that something happens. So you have those, and so anytime a joke falls flat, you have a joke that keys into it, and it looks like that joke did not fall flat. It was a setup for this one. And with time, nobody knows. Only a comedian can say, "I thought he was going somewhere. No, he missed it. Good, cover up." You know, and with experience, you can wing it. Sometimes I may tell a joke, and it takes them time to get it. So I need to fill in something while they are getting it. And at the time they get it, I'll drop another punchline, and both of them will work together. Tricks of the trade, but it works. And sometimes you tell a joke, and a lot of people don't get it. And you continue cracking a joke, waiting for them to get it. As they begin to get it, it crosses. Like when I first did the joke of a lot of people are running away from the north, and I don't know why they are running, because God has already told them not to go to the north, because He wrote it in the Bible, "Fear not." It took a while in the church, and it built, and by the time it hit people, it had taken. So, and while I was waiting for it, I had to do something else so that there's no lull.
This is why I say road safety is not working. This kind of thing should come with a number plate. BB Botswana.
Vulgar jokes is a genre of comedy many stand-up acts have told. Many young comedians lace up their jokes with a bit of lewd lines. Alibaba, however, doesn't share their opinion. As a matter of fact, he believes it is counterproductive.
I think that for every dirty joke that you do, you cut your market by 50%. Because for corporate events, nobody would want you to come there while they have corporate guests telling dirty jokes. So what happens is that for every corporate event, if somebody knows that the kind of jokes you do are dirty jokes, they will not use you. Most of the time, the people who do dirty jokes are used for concerts in schools. And you won't find anybody who's doing dirty jokes come to a wedding that you invited A-class kind of people. Even if these A-class people tell the dirty jokes amongst themselves, you can't come to the public and tell them.
As I say, Ababa, 44, I did meet the street. 44, I did meet the street. Thank you! What? So for 44, I did meet the street. They said, no, sir. Oh, more. Oh, boy, you want knowledgeable. So I enter motor as I drive the good. Now reverse. Come back. Reach there. I said, Baba. I said, thank God, I'm not lost again. Yes, sir. He said, as you enter the car, you wanted to drive. Only my smallest son, he too just came. And I asked him, he said, he did not know.
He idolizes the comedians who came before him, and he lives with the philosophy that his business is big enough for all who want to make it their chosen profession. As such, he has supported, mentored, and presented several comedians, helping them to ensure that standards are maintained and professionalism encouraged. No wonder he is called the Godfather of stand-up comedy.